Welcome back, guys. This is going to be episode 4 of our Microsoft Flight Simulator and Train Sim World combined. In our last episode, we had just started getting into our good 3.5% downhill grades. We are still currently going downhill. This is a very slow process, or else your train can get away from you. So let's go ahead and continue. I think we're rolling at about 20 miles, well, right about 20 miles per hour. We'll have to start getting back into dynamic braking. Yeah, because we're still picking up speed. This is only a 2.3 here, so I'll let it get up to like between 25 and 30. No, we don't need no driver assist. I'm doing this all alone. I just turned the alerter off, because every time I'm outside with the camera, that's whenever that alerter goes off, and if I don't hit it, it automatically fails you. See, like as I was talking about, I didn't actually mean to do that, my bad guys. What I was actually talking about was like if you had a credit system where you haul freight, like everything I explained in the last episode. I was thinking about it. There should be like, punishments, a speeding fine, a derailment, you're not paying attention to what you're doing. You have, if you completely derail a train, maybe you got to pay for an insurance like Microsoft Flight Simulator. That way either you got to pay for all of the damages or pay for some of it. That would, you got a market in there, an actual economy that you're working off of. That would be really fun in this. But let's go ahead and get back inside because we're starting to really pick up speed again. Sediment place, which is, I know it's part of the cement place. It's where they dig up stuff at. So there's freight going in between here and there. But yeah, we're gonna do the full flight over this, and do the loop arounds and see what things look like. Brake. Now see, that's weird. I'm at a 2% and I'm using less braking power right now and it won't go any faster. But you let it get up to like 30, you're going to have to use like notch 8 just to get it to slow down. Pick up, so I'm not going to be coming down this hill this slow. The only reason why I'm keeping it below 30 is because I'm up underneath the caution yellow. I don't want to blow through the next gotta stop. Glad I was watching that. Yeah, check it out. I don't know what the numbers on the side of the hill mean, but I want to see if I can actually see that on Microsoft Flight Simulator whenever I fly over it. If I can find the numbers that are on the hills. I think they're like mile markers, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the grade itself. Alright, we're back green again. Oh, here we go. We got a whole another train coming by. Let's see if I can almost spin it this way. There we go. Oh, he's hauling a load of chemicals too. Let's see how many he's hauling though. Let's see. Alright, carrying more than I am. Oh yeah, he's definitely doing a lot more. There ain't no way he'd be able to carry all of that with what he's got. See, some of these AI simulations, they are lies. They are absolutely lies. I'm about to hit the dynamic brake again. Oh, we gotta bring this camera down. This thing does some weird stuff. Yeah, those have got to be empties. That's the only way he's carrying that. They gotta be empties. I'm carrying the loaded. There's the end right here. Let's see how many engines he's got. Yeah, 6 engines? I don't know. Maybe if they were all empty. But I know for sure not if they were loaded. I guess what I'm thinking about, I still keep thinking about making a game like that, or maybe making a mod or something like that for this. Using what's already there, just perfecting it and adding to the system. But I guess it would be like a train sim world, like a career mode in there. That would be really fun, because they got a career mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, say if they do like the system like they do on Microsoft Flight Simulator, where you have done grinded and made a bunch of engines, you can assign AI, just like they already got in here. You can assign your engines to be AI operated, or maybe somebody that's new, maybe see, they would have to know how to do it, but in Microsoft Flight Simulator, even before you own your own plane, you can do missions and stuff with other people's trains. Like, say if I have like 10 SD40s and I'm not going to use them, I'm going to use 5 on the ones I'm pulling, and the AI can use the other 5, or another player can use the other 5 on the freight mission that I decided to do. You know, he can make credits like that too, and save up enough to get his own train to make more credits, because he owns the train. He's not just driving somebody else's. That would be, dude, I wouldn't be able to, like, all I would do is just be recording this all the time, doing stuff, because you'd be able to interact with people. You know, you'd have another person on the train you can talk with. They can be guests on your channel, and everything else would be really fun. But it would probably take like Microsoft years to do that. I don't even know if they'd be able to, or Train Sim World could do it, but I don't know. I don't even know why they come out with Train Sim World 6. Like, that, it didn't make any sense to me. I couldn't tell very much of a difference between this one and that one. You know, as graphics wise, but they could have just added to this one more. That they could have added the system like what I'm talking about. I don't know very much about coding. I don't know if it takes a lot to do stuff like that, but it already exists in here. Like for AI to drive the trains, vice versa. But get everybody else, like other players into here, like a multiplayer map. So that would be fun. Say somebody makes a mistake and derails, and you know you're the emergency rail crew. You can own one of them. You can work for somebody else that goes out there and cleans up train wrecks. I mean, it ain't gonna be a lot of simulations where it's actually showing the crane picking up the train and all that other stuff. I mean, if they would, if they put a program of that in there, okay, that's cool. You know, it takes a certain amount of time to get it cleaned up, but it's just not so long where somebody's sitting there for an hour waiting for their train to move. It should take, just a second, guys. I got, for some reason, my chat party gave up on me. Alright, there we go. I don't know why the chat party done that, but I've already got my mic set up for in there. I don't know what I sounded like whenever the party closed. If I ear raped you, I'm sorry, but I just, oh my god, what is going on? See, whenever I back out and try to do stuff, it's like my train just randomly just starts flying. Come on, slow down. Start cheating me right at the end. There we go. Alright, let's slow it down. I thought it was going to get away from me. Oh, this is another one of those places I wanted to see. We're going to use this side of the train though. But this place right over here, this factory, I'm going to look for it whenever I fly over it, because it's right out of here. There we go. Trying to keep the end. That's a weird place for a switch track. That's just enough room to put one locomotive or one engine on there. But yeah, that looks like a delivery place for like maybe cargo stuff. I'm just really ready to do that on the Microsoft Flight thing. I want to see what this stuff really looks like. Because it figures to me like you need to have a set of rails that go off over here as like a delivery point maybe, or a pickup point. kind of route it all through the areas that it doesn't normally let you drive through. I may just have to make multiple stops and stuff like that. We'll figure it out on our northbound load. We're going to have something coming back. And then what we'll do is, once we get back up north, back to Barstow, then we'll take the plane and we may go fly it over, do the sand patch or the Union Pacific area around Wyoming and stuff like that. We may fly and then get the plane out and go fly over that. Y'all let me know which one y'all want to see first: the sand patch, the CSX, the Union Pacific, or the Norfolk Southern. And I'll also do the flight simulator over both main yards and the path that it takes to get in between them. Man, this thing is picky. It just keeps slowing down too much. It's like I can't find a happy medium in between none of this. This is the reason why it takes so long to get down through here. I figured adding more engines it would make it easier, but it just still seems like it's just as complicated. Trying to see if it's going to slow us down more from 35 or not. Looks like it's holding. I may have just found like that glide scope, what they call it in Microsoft, whenever you're coming in for a landing. It's where you match your air braking with your flaps and nosing the plane up. That way you can land it perfectly. I think I may have found, as long as we stay on a 2.2% downhill grade, it shouldn't increase speed and we shouldn't lose speed. But if the grade changes, I'm either going to start gaining or losing speed. So, nope, we're actually still slowing down more. I bet you if I kick it up into 5, it's going to take off. like a big, I'll show you something, it's like a big generator grid where it builds up resistance, and that heat is expelled out of here, out of this exhaust fan. This is the dynamic brake generator, and as it builds resistance rolling down the hill, there's radiator fans that suck in cold air from these side vents, and it exhausts the heat out the top. This is the exhaust for the diesel engines, and I don't know, that's some type of fan in that, but I forgot what that was. That actually may be the coolant fans for the brakes, because I see it turning on and off. Let me set back up. Man, this canvas, this drone is so touchy today. Alright. As you can see the heat coming out of the top of it for sure. Alright, it's saying we can get up to 70 miles per hour, but this is also one of those areas where you gotta watch out at. Because you'll be up underneath a green and then you'll go straight to yellow to red. We're still going downhill, so trying to stop at, 40, 50 miles per hour is going to be impossible. It would take miles to stop this. So that's where your judgment comes into play. We'll at least get it up to about, we'll get it up to 40. some of them may be loaded, but pretty much the stuff, like if you're at the Barstow yard, you're on the south side of the yard, all that is outgoing where we got our freight from, all that's going to be loaded. I think if you want to start pulling empties, like if you want to carry a large load of empties back, you got to go back there where they assemble, like where the yard dogs work at. You can pull empties out, but you can look at the car and look at the suspension, and if it's loaded, the car will sit down closer to the track and it'll compress the suspension springs. But if it's empty, it'll sit up high on the track on the axle. So you can kind of visually look at them and be able to tell, or you can open up the doors and look inside of them. We may see if we can catch some empties coming back up, like make a really big train and carry some whatever we can find empties back with a ton of SD40s, because every time I come down here there's always a ton of SD40s that have to go back up with empties. Sometimes using some of these main powers, your higher horsepower locomotives trailing them, because you got to bring them back. You can't just keep all the engines in one yard. They got to go back and forth. So we'll see what they got on the work order for us whenever we get there. But we're going to take off a day and we're going to fly and look at this stuff. Back off of it. Got another 500 yards to know if we're going to have to stop or not. I don't think we're going to have to stop. I think it's just putting us up underneath the caution yellow to get us down to 30 miles per hour. But the one good thing is, once we get down here, all we're going to be doing is setting the train brakes, the independents, and keeping the engine running, because there's going to be another driver that's going to take this train from us and move it down the line so it can be disassembled. And we're going to see if we can catch a load coming back up, or see what's on the board we'll just have to look and see what's in the yard. I don't know what all the other AI locomotives have done moved, so I have to get down here and figure that out. May have to put some more engines, because I've gotten down here and all the engines will be up at the top and I won't have what I need down here to get. But I can show you how to spawn in locomotives and stuff like that. I just try not to do it whenever I'm making these, I guess, more realistic kind of thing. Like if you're just popping trains into existence, that doesn't look real. I guess you lose your, God, what's the word for it? I was saying it in the video. Your emergence. Yeah, emerging into the game. You lose a lot of emergence whenever you start spawning in trains out of nowhere. Alright, we're on a 0.9 downhill now, so but you can see, look, we go from 40 to 30 to 10. You always look at the lower numbers. The only reason why that high number would go for you is if you're just passing through. So, like if you're going through the yard, but they don't have another railway that connects to this one on here. They do in real life, but if you were just passing through San Bernardino yard, you would maintain 60 miles per hour through here. And we do see other locomotives coming through. We'll see some probably whenever we get down here. They'll be flying through there at 60. Yeah, we ain't gonna have no problems with dynamic braking now. We're not really on a grade at all. I mean, we're up to a 1%, but that's not anything major. Alright, yeah, we'll have to get into it because we gotta slow down now. is the northern San Bernardino part of the yard. You'll have some northbound outgoing freight over here. So this is something that they need to come back up. It looks like a bunch of empties. Make sure my train's going the right way. And then see, there's another northbound train. They got trains everywhere down here. And then they got a bunch of empties, so we'll just have to see what we can get, but we may grab that one right there, because that definitely looks like a bunch of empties. Alright, so we are now on a 0%, we're basically on flat land. The weight of our cars behind us is what's pushing us down the hill, because they're still on a grade. So we don't need dynamic braking no more. We can just go over to our independent now. There he goes. He's taking off. See, he had to wait for us to get into the yard before he could come in. Or take off. What's he hauling? He's hauling a loaded mixed freight. Got a bunch of pipe, got some diesel. Got all types of stuff. They just threw that train together. I'll probably have to go up underneath notch 1 on throttle. Man, that is a massive train. How long is this thing? Yeah, he's also pulling back empties too. Oh, I thought it was going all the way back there. I was like, there ain't no way he's carrying that much. Yeah, there's the end of it. Yeah, this is your main San Bernardino yard right here. Let's zoom in. You can see it. I'm ready to see this on Flight Simulator to see what it really looks like. Alright, we're going to be coming up to our stop here soon. 6. See, they got a bunch of empties right here too. See, all this stuff needs to go back up to the north side of the yard. It looks like the majority of this has been unloaded, and so is that. So we may get some. That's a big train though. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull all of that with the SD40s, but we should have about. Most of the time, whenever I take the SD40s back up, it normally requires me to carry what I'm carrying plus 6 more. So we may actually be able to get a decent train coming out of here. A pretty big size one, like way bigger than what we're driving now. It's just this stuff weighs so much. See, this is all empty here. See, these can go together. They got it broken down into 2s where if you don't have enough power to pull it back up, but I think we're going to take these little empty stacks back up. And see, we got there at the Barstow yard at 7:30 that morning, and it is now 11 o'clock in game. So hopefully we stay in good weather conditions and we're not going to be dealing with no snow or rain. What else do they got out over here? They got some more empties too, or at least I think those are empties. Those may be loaded. I don't know. What do y'all want to haul back? Y'all let me know. We'll do it. 500 feet. Yeah, we got a lot of freight down, and this is just the north part of the yard. Your main priority loads they're around this corner down here, but they're on the south side of the San Bernardino yard. There's a lot of freight here. Alright, 200 yards away. Throttle. See what type of time we got in here. So we may have to shut down this one and set our car brakes. We still got a little bit more time. Alright, so we're going to simulate an actual loaded shutdown on how you would do this. So before we would kill any of the engines, we got to set the handbrakes. Since we're on a 0%, well, no, we're kind of going downhill again. Alright, this is good enough. We can go ahead and set our independent a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we want our independent all the way at 100, knock the reverser out. Alright, turn our generator field off. That way there's no mistaking of this train taking off on us. And what we're going to do is we're going to set our train brakes. That way it makes it a little bit easier. Now see, you would have to get up, but actually we're going to use our little drone to help us today. So this would be your, your little extra worker guy. He would come out of here, the other multiplayer, run all the way down through here. This is exactly what you would have to do. You gotta set all these brakes. Anything chemical, you have to do it if you're shutting down the train. So we'll get about half of them since we're following the degree law, or the grade law on here, where we're a little bit on the grade. All we got to do is at least apply the brakes to half of these. We don't have to do it to them all. But we probably will, just to be on the safe side. And them brakes are popping like crazy. I don't know what's slamming. Maybe they're moving these other trains around or something over there. 'Cause I keep hearing all the joints clackling back against each other. Alright, that looks like it's gonna be... Yeah, that's definitely over half. Alright, so your guy, he would have to come back up. This is as fast as I can get it to move. It would take me way longer to do this on foot. So thank God you can actually access stuff with the drone. Alright, so your helper guy, he would come back up here. Oh yeah, looks there's woo, right inside, boom. Alright, so we're in here. Now we're gonna be going through the shutdown procedure. We want all lights being controlled by ours, so as we turn off stuff, it's going to turn off stuff. Turn all this off, because it's long good leading, so then we can kill our lights. Take our reverser handle out of here. Give me my reverser knob. See, it's so picky about where you're doing this. Alright, give it here. And what we will do is we can let me just click on the screen because it's really hard to do this. Alright, more options, distributed power. Where's the brake controller at? There we go, operator controls. So we want to cut that out. Change that to trail, and what that'll do is it'll dump the brakes on the train, and it automatically locks down the brakes if it loses air pressure. So now we can knock that all the way out. We'll leave our independent on, well, it's going to be applied anyways once it loses all of its banking pressure. Still leave your banking comm on right now, because what we're going to do is, as we shut this stuff off, kill all of this up here, we're going to leave the engine run. Oh well, we may need to leave control on, but we're going to leave that on, and we're going to go back here and we're going to hit the shut off button, and it should kill our engines in the end too. should. I hope I don't have to walk through all of these trains shutting them off. See, because the banking comp, nope, I still hear them running. Engine run off, control off. Let me see, are they running? Yeah, they're all still running, man. You would have to turn off all of that stuff. I thought it was supposed to shut everything off whenever you've done that. It's supposed to remotely. Whenever you shut this one off, it's supposed to shut them all off. But anyways, we got this one shut down. This one's locked down. We can hit our main breakers up here, like the fuel pump and ECU, running lights. We'll kill everything in here. Make it completely dark. That way it's just a pain in the ass for the next person who comes in here and drives it. Like I normally get whenever I'm getting somewhere. Come on now. Radio off. Man, we had the refrigerator and everything on. And then your main breaker is right here. Auto stop override. Helper heaters. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Normally whenever you hit all the main breakers back here, none of this stuff would be on. It would be completely dead. So we're going to go ahead and close this up and kill our main. Like even this would be off. We're just going to leave the other ones on. Whoa, whoa, I don't know why it does that instead of just walking down like a normal person. But yeah. That's what we just got down here. That's our load complete. So let's take a look around at whatever else we got. I remember we saw some freight over here. So that's going to be empties. We may have to look at this on the map. I just got to make sure I don't step in front of another train. Alright. So we're on foot now. We're going to run this down here. And see exactly how many of these empties we got. And I'll check and see. This stuff is... I don't know. This one looks like it may be loaded because of how low it's sitting down. Let's see. We'll find out. Unlock. Open the door. Nope. She's empty. Alright, so this is empty freight. And all the other box cars, you see how they're the same level as each other? So that means that this is all empty too. I wonder how long this is. Let me look at it on here. It's not too long. We also got some double stacks up here that look like they may be empties too. So we're kind of looking at what's going to be our next set of freight to come out of here. I don't think you can open up these cargo containers. Let me see. No, you can't. See, it just falls right off of there. So I don't know, this stuff may have stuff in it. Normally they illustrate these as being completely empty, like these boxes are not even in there. So this may actually be a loaded one waiting to go south, but I know for sure that all this is empty over here. We may carry all these flats and maybe get some of those boxes. Yeah, I can see here we go. There's some more double stacks. Let's see. Let me see if I can maybe compare how low they are to each other. We're gonna have to go this way because where we're gonna be catching our Uber ride out of here is way back this way. We're almost to the end of our own train now because I still hear the locomotives running. Alright, yeah. We're at the end now. You see this? You see how these are empty? They don't have anything in it. So that's what I'm saying. I think that these still have stuff in there and then these are just empty cars. Maybe they're staying. This system has always confused me. You know, it's so hard to tell what's loaded, but they got two flats ready to go out in these style cars right here for cargo. That's a pretty big train there. So, but anyways, we'll cross over here because this is the old parking lot where we leave every day. And this is one of the areas that I want to see if I can see it. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. We finally made it down here. Now, my next episode, I'm going to be on Microsoft Flight Simulator, flying over this whole rail route, and I should be able to figure out something going northbound within the next episode or so. Once I get the flight over this all taken care of. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoy. Like, subscribe, give me some ideas, give me some comments. What do y'all want to see moved or, simulated or whatever? Now, I ain't trying to do no bare minimum stuff where I'm carrying max cars and the least amount of engines, and it's going to be a stress ride. Or just let me know what type of freight you're going to move, and we'll overpower the shit out of it to make sure we can get it there. I mean, it ain't like we're really burning fuel anyways. Ain't our fuel. But anyways, guys, I'll holler at y'all in the next episode. Bye.